So here we are, it's Football Genius here. Hi, my name is Football Genius. Well, that's not my name, that's what my channel's name is. So hope you are all fine, guys, in this coronavirus outbreak, this pandemic and all such situations. Hope you all are fine and staying at home. Don't underestimate this lockdown. This lockdown is basically to prevent the spread of coronavirus, to break the chain. That's what the health experts say. So we are football fans, we all know that. And amidst this coronavirus pandemic, which is day by day ripping apart our hopes of the resumption of a possible European season, let's take a look at a few possible options available about what could be the future or the fate of the European season for this year. So, sources inside the European football governing body have indicated that no option or no outcome is being ignored at the moment, considering the fact that this coronavirus or the COVID-19 is spreading rapidly throughout the world with more than 9 lakh people affected. Well, it's estimate 9 lakh, yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at the probably 4 possible options and a close analysis by Football Genius. The first option is end the season. Simply end the season and declare the results according to the current standing. That is, the leaders who are leading the group will be recognized as the winners of their respective leagues. For example, Liverpool, who are leading the Premier League, they will be recognized as the winners of their respective English Premier League or the PL. And Barcelona similarly would have the advantage ahead of Real Madrid, though the difference is just 1 point. So this is a very widely popular option. And another option comes in this end the season option, that is a scenario that's end this with the season completely null and void. Although the second scenario is increasingly favorable, it would be betrayal to or disheartening to some football players to declare the season as null and void, because we know that this season has been jeweled with records. So many records. We have Ciro Immobile, Erling Haaland, Robert Lewandowski, who are at their prime form and best form. So declaring the season as null and void would make no sense at all, and it would just be an injustice to those football players who are at their peak form right now. So the first scenario, on the other hand, would be a demerit for great football clubs and benefits individual interests. That is, the great football clubs like we have, suppose the teams like Swansea City or Cardiff City, who are struggling hard for promotion to the first tier from the second tier, or Norwich City, who can still pull a breakthrough, and Real Madrid and Barcelona, the difference is just 1 point. Like Borussia Dortmund also with Bayern Munich, the difference is very low. So these teams can really make a breakthrough because they have a lot of games in hand, although almost 3/4 quarters of the season is completed. Still, they have many games in hand and they can still make the breakthrough. So declaring the season with the results as the current league standings would be complete injustice to those football clubs who can still pull a breakthrough on us. This option of ending the season would itself be injustice to us football fans who are eagerly waiting for the football season to resume, for the European season to resume. And declaring as null and void makes no sense at all, because the big players and teams like Atlanta, we have Atlanta in the Champions League, what a performance they're pulling off, and against Valencia, they got that. Really, they showed true character. I'm really impressed by the way they played Atlanta. So Atlanta made their first ever UEFA Champions League entry and they're straight to the quarterfinals. And also Liverpool's invincible dream has been defied by Atletico de Madrid. So all these events and all these glorious events, Liverpool 30 years wait for the title. That's a thing itself that we have to keep in mind. Liverpool's 30 years wait for the title, all that would make no sense at all, because they would have to wait more and more, and maybe the form would degrade, the players' form not at all. So this option, although it's increasingly favorable considering the fact that this coronavirus isn't going to end before the end of this year, still it would be injustice. So let's hope that the coronavirus ends quickly. So let's go to the second option, that is extend the season. Well, what's the extending the season? We know that the European football officials, the European football governing body UEFA officials have met, and in a meeting they discussed that the Euro 2020 would be postponed to next year. Similarly, the IOC, or the International Olympic Committee, has Olympics committee have decided that the Olympics 2020 would be postponed to next year. So that's another option football pundits are considering, as they're extending the season, as the Copa America is also postponed to next year. But you all know why that's happening, because this coronavirus doesn't seem to end. This coronavirus is ripping apart our daily lives. So that's why they have been postponed. So extending the season would be good. That is, we can finish the 2020 European season in the summer instead of the Euro 2020, which is postponed to next year. And the other seasons also, other football leagues can also be completed within that time, if COVID-19 spares us for a moment, but it's not at all sparing us as it seems. So this option would give a fair chance to all the teams to compete on a reasonable level, because you know what fair chance is. Even though they have a great number of games in hand, unlike the first option where even though they had a great number of games in hand and could still have put a breakthrough, still their results wouldn't have mattered. And in this option the results will matter. That is, the games they play, the results will matter, and we can still see their breakthrough. That is, Cardiff City and Swansea City can still gain for promotion, and Bournemouth and all sorts of this, like all this in Liverpool's 30-year wait for the dream. Real can still pull a breakthrough. BVB can trash Bayern out of the table, and all such things. So this option looks favorable for this thing. Instead, what I would say, the cons of this thing is the contract issues. Generally what we know is that the contracts of the players end generally on June 13th, by the end of June 13th, and they are renewed then from the next month, from the first of the next month, that is July 1st. So there are contract issues. Obviously those whose contracts will be ending this season, they won't be able to play, because since its season would be extended, we expect at least till July. The UEFA Champions League and many teams competing, so many teams have players who have been immense and who have pulled apart huge performances, great performances, but still due to this extending the season, the contracts might be declared null and void and all such things. So these are the then players form is another important thing that we have to focus on. Players like Ciro Immobile, Erling Haaland and Lewandowski, they have been in terrible form. This terrible is tremendous form, I mean, actually. So they have been in tremendous form. So this form might degrade because of this coronavirus pandemic, as they haven't been into football much lately. And so their team's chances of pulling apart a breakthrough might end. So that's what we have to look at. Players' forms, like Liverpool's form. Liverpool had been in tremendous form since the last season for almost 1 year. But then see Watford, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. What the hell is happening? So that's the thing. It all depends on the form, and due to this long absence from football, the forms might start to degrade. So this season is, let's see what happens. Coming to the next option, we have delay the season. Simply delay the season. That's end it here and wait for the situation to be over, then resume the season. That is, we would take almost till September, October. But here great difficulty comes, the fixture congestion that would happen next year. So this would mean that we have to shorten next year's tournament. They shorten the next year's leagues because of the many events taking place next year, like the Olympics, Euro, Copa America and all such sorts. So we have to shorten the thing. The thing is, it may cause fixture contention, financial losses and many such things. We might have to start the next season according to the end of this season. That is almost, if we consider it's just a basic suppose, this coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic ends by September. It's just imagination. I don't know when it would end. Suppose so we would start the season in September and it would take almost 2 more months to end. September, October, November. It would end in November. So if the season ends in November, 1 month of rest, and the next season would eventually start from January instead of September or August, you see. So if the next season starts from January, when it's almost mid-season in regular life, it becomes a huge trouble for the league bosses to prepare the charts and schedules accordingly. So I think we might have to postpone the next season. We can either postpone the next season or shorten it. I would prefer shorten the next season to mid and delay the season. So that's all. The pros will be the clubs would lose less amount of money, because since all this is delayed, the contracts would also be delayed, and eventually the players won't be getting the money, so the clubs would lose less amount of money and they can play. And this would be a fair option too, since the players won't vary much, because by that time few leagues would have started and players would have a bit of football experience. So this looks like a fair thing, and it would also cause fair ending of the season with the breakthroughs and all such things which I spoke of. But the cons is that huge losses for the players, because they won't be getting their money since the season is delayed and the contracts are delayed. So that's the thing, they won't be getting the money. Huge losses, financial losses for the players, share markets go down, fixture congestion, and tight 2020-2021 season. That's the thing football bosses and pundits would be concerned about. Tight packed schedule for the next season with Euro, Copa, shortened season, Olympics and everything. So I think this COVID-19 pandemic has really freaked the hell out of our lives. I shouldn't be using such words, but what to do. Anyways, let's see what happens. Meanwhile, you guys please stay at home. It's a request from the Football Genius community. Wash your hands regularly and please do not step out of your home. Please. Until and unless it's very necessary and very urgent. Thank you.